Hey guys, it's Angela. I've been getting a lot of questions about my GoFundMe project and the service dog. So I wanted to answer a couple of those, and I was going to start out by telling you guys kind of why I need the service dog. That was like one of the major questions. Since I was 8 or 9 years old, I vividly remember having my first panic attack. It was pretty frightening. I thought I was dying. I was sure that I was just gonna have to find myself a coffin and get buried in it because it was terrible. And my mom, who had experienced them since she was 3 years old, knew exactly what was happening and knew how to handle it. And honestly, I don't know what would have happened if I hadn't had her there with me. Probably would have gone to the hospital or something. And ever since then, I struggled in school, couldn't go to church because every time I heard anything like songs would trigger me, any sort of thing would trigger me. It got to the point where I couldn't go to school anymore. I had to drop out. Well, that and among other things that happened during my high school year, it wasn't a very good year for my family. But the years then, I had to drop out of school, senior year, go into the hospital, try to get treated that way. That didn't work out. I started doing therapy, started intensely. I mean, I had done therapy before, but it was like on and off and not really for helping me with my anxiety. It was for what's going on, what went on with my family. So after that, I started focusing on trying to get better, and I got serious with my medication, and I started trying to put my life back together after I dropped out. I managed to get a diploma because it had a program where you could do school online. So all of the agoraphobia issues I had made me not be able to really go out much. And the days I could go out were very limited days, maybe one or two out of the month. It really would depend. I mean, if I had to go out, then I would be hysterical and upset, and it was just a lot. And you can tell now that I'm a lot better. And around 18, 19, I was in a very rough spot, and then I graduated from high school. I believe I just turned, no, I think I was about 18 and a half when I graduated. It was in 2013. I was a late person, and it really hurt me because I'm one of those people that likes to be on top of everything and likes to just be a normal person. And trying to pretend like I didn't have this issue was a lot. When I was 19, I got diagnosed with OCD, and it really made a lot of sense to me. Not the kind where I clean my hands constantly. I mean, my room is a mess. You can't see it because, yeah. But all of my thoughts and everything were just constantly hitting me, and I was thinking about stuff like, Angela, you can't even graduate high school on time. Angela, you can't keep a job. You can't do everything that normal people your age are doing. You can't even figure out where you want to go to college. And so it was on and on and on. I couldn't sleep. I barely ate, and finally got on the medication that helped me. And it's been helping me for a while. And I have been working out pretty well. Like, my life here in Georgia has been a lot better than it was when I was living in Kentucky. So that's nice. I mean, I've had stresses here, and the stresses have made me realize that I need an extra hand. I need some help. And as good as my friends are, and they're amazing, I've never had such amazing friends there for me. When I was sick, I had maybe one friend who stood by me. She had no idea what was going on, but just tried to be there for me. And then when I got down here, there are so many people that were able to just be with me and talk to me, and just we worked everything out. And now I have a group of friends who all understand what I'm going through with being disabled. I guess I have it to the point where it's severe, and if I don't take medication, I can't function. It's terrifying to think about. Like, if I ever wanted to join the army, I wouldn't be able to do it. I wouldn't be able to do anything that requires me not to have my medication with me at all times. That's really scary, you know? So I'm always trying to keep on top of things, but the problem with that is some days I have bad days and I forget, and then I have an even worse day, and so I'm trying to be able to get through the times that I forget, maybe have this service dog help me when I'm having bad days and can't go out, and it helps me because I'll feel safer with the dog. And there's all these things, amazing things that the dog can do, and I know animals in general are helpful to me. I feel more connected with animals because I don't feel like I have to explain myself to them. They just know I'm not in a good mood or not in a good spot, and they'll be there for me, you know? And sometimes you can't say that about humans. Some people are judgmental and they kind of blow you off when you're feeling bad and think that you're just doing it to get attention or something like that. And I've gotten that a lot throughout my life. So having an animal there that can help me with no strings attached is just amazing to think about. And this brings me to the next question people ask me. They're like, why can't you get a regular dog? Because you said animals are good. And, you know, I'm thinking, sure, I could get a regular dog, but I feel like it would be more stress and I wouldn't be able to have time to train it. I wouldn't be able to have time to get it used to my place. There'd be all of that crazy puppy stuff that goes on when you get dogs. Even if I got an adult dogs can sometimes be stressed out and not be, and then their housebroken stuff kind of just goes away because it's a brand new house, so they'll go everywhere, and that's kind of something that I don't want to deal with right now. I've seen so many dogs that need loving homes, and I really want to be able to be in a place where I can adopt a couple of dogs, or a dog that needs a new home because its owner abandoned it, because it's kind of sad to think that I can't really have a real dog, and that's kind of the answer to that one. I don't want to be responsible for something. If I were to get into a bad spot again, I don't want the dog to be just not taken care of, and that would be one of the things that it wouldn't help me. It'd make me stressed out. So that's one. The other question was, why can't you get a dog and then train it to be a service dog? And the answer to that is pretty simple. To find a dog that's even right for training, it's like they have programs in the prisons that are, I think it's like Paws for Purpose. There's a couple of programs that I know about that does that, where they take dogs and they rehabilitate them and then they use them as service dogs. But the problem with that is you are on a waiting list for that sort of thing, and maybe 1 out of every 15 or 20 dogs, don't quote me on that, are able to be used for service, because there's a lot of things that this dog has to be able to do. So getting a dog straight that is bred to be able to do that already, and then also can be trained to do that in one spot, because the training, after you get it approved to be able to do that, the training is basically the same price. It's pretty crazy that I'm even getting a dog this cheap and this early on. So that's kind of what my answers are for that. Why do I need the dog? Mostly because I've tried everything else, and I'm continually trying everything else, but just like some things there, you need to do more than a couple of things. Like, I'm taking medication and I'm talking to a therapist again, and I'm trying to get on top of everything, but I need a little extra help, and that's where this service dog comes from. And luckily I am able to have one, and you guys have been helping me out, and that's great. And I just wanted to answer your questions. Have a good day, share, or donate if you can. Thank you.